Okay, welcome back to hopefully the final part of the Q&A. And last few questions come from two more people. First off, going with Wolfman Thomas. Wolfman Thomas asked me, looks like about 8 or 9 questions, or maybe 10. First one being, could you see cartoons like Ben 10 or Danny Phantom as part of universes like Marvel, Image, or DC? If so, which one? Well, first off with Ben 10, I'd actually put him in the Marvel universe because they do a lot with the galactic characters, more so than DC sometimes. I could see him going toe to toe with the Skrulls, Terrax. In fact, a lot of the Marvel villains, a lot of the Ben 10's Rogues Gallery reminds me a lot of a lot of Marvel villains. Like we have, there's one villain who looked too much like Terrax. There's another one that there was actually the Hybrid, who actually reminded me of the X-Men villains known as the Phalanx. And there's another villain in there known as King Victor, who reminded me too much of Doctor Doom. So yeah, him in the Marvel universe. Danny I could actually see working in the Image universe. Or him in the DC universe. Image or DC. With Image I could see him, he'd actually work quite well, working alongside Invincible, or the Astounding Wolfman, or in the DC universe with him working. I actually see him more in the Outsiders than the Teen Titans for some reason. I just think he'd work better in the Outsiders. So there's that. Next question is, could you see the Lagoon Corporation in the Marvel universe? Absolutely. And for those who don't know what Wolfman Thomas is talking about about the Lagoon Company, that's from the anime Black Lagoon. And yes, I could see them working very well in the Marvel universe. Them running into the Punisher. Actually, I could see them working pretty well as Punisher villains. Villains for the Punisher. I could see them taking on, other grounded characters like Daredevil, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Moon Knight. A lot of the grounded characters. Or street-level characters, and even encountering Wolverine. So, yeah, definitely. And I think you're going to like today's fight, one of my fight videos for today. Next up is, how would you feel about a Hellboy Hellsing crossover if they ever made one? Well, that's funny, because I've looked around, and Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, has talked about he wants to do a crossover with Hellsing. He really wants to do a crossover with Hellsing, so it's all up to... I would absolutely see that, because the Dark Horse does the manga publishing, English publishing for Hellsing. So it's possible. The creator does work a lot with the Dark Horse comic. The creator of Hellsing works a lot with Hellsing, and it's probably more plausible than the Batman crossover that they've been talking about for about years, which I think is never going to happen. But Hellboy Hellsing, absolutely. I'd absolutely love to see that. If you put a team of 5 superheroes not in comics, okay, who would they be and how would they interact? Ooh, I like this question. Okay, characters I'd put together: Danny Phantom, Jenny Wakeman or XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot, Generator Rex. Rex, of course. Rex. Let's see who else. Starling from the show Stormhawks. Who else? There's one more in my mind. Crap! I lost the last one. I guess Snake Eyes. Yeah, Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. I think the team would be pretty cool. Having that team, young and old, like Snake Eyes and Starling would be watching out for the three other heroes, like training them and putting them on team, making them as a team work together. Taking care of Rex, Jenny, and Danny. Snake Eyes and Starling would basically be like the mentors to the three of them. Thank you for that question. That was very cool. Next question is, if the new Godzilla movies do well, what other Toho monsters would you like to see? I would like to see Mothra, another Mothra movie done well. Same goes to Rodan and Varan the Unbelievable. I'd like to actually see King Ghidorah get his own movie. I think Ghidorah as a monster it would be very cool to see get his own movie. So I think that would work very well. I'd also like to see maybe them do a movie about Hedera, the smog monster. So characters like those, basically. Maybe Godzilla's rogues should get their own movies, basically, is what I'm saying. So thank you for that question. So, first off, excuse for the background noise if you can hear it. My brother and sister are being idiots. But moving on to your next few questions, what would it be like if Goku and Superman switched universes? Actually, my friends Ziploc Gory and Mount Vernon Kid have been asked these questions before, so I'm glad someone finally got this question to me. Okay, so if Superman and Goku switched universes, I've actually thought about writing this story more than often. First off, I believe that if they switched universe, first off, I'd like to say if Goku switched universe landed in Smallville instead of Japan, I think it'd be cool because I could actually see a Goku in the red and blue in the Superman costume. I mean that would really work for him. I think it'd be really cool to see him in the red and blue costume, just to see him. Because I've seen fan art and he actually looks pretty cool in the fan art in the Superman costume, and he's basically the Superman of anime, basically. Again, sorry for the background noise. But if Kal-El landed in Japan, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, although I don't think he'd look pretty cool in the red and the orange training suit. I don't think he'd look pretty cool in that, but it'd be interesting to see how he would handle, Goku's threats, whereas Goku would handle Superman's foes, because Goku doesn't have a weakness unless you beat the crap out of him. So it'd be interesting to see how Luthor would go about trying to take out this Super Saiyan, I guess. And it'd be kind of interesting to see if Goku would would marry Lois, but Kal-El would marry Chi-Chi. So that'd be kind of interesting. Your next question is, what would happen if Galactus came to Cybertron? Ooh, this is a good question. Okay, if Galactus came to Cybertron, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, it'd be a threat that the Autobots and Decepticons could have to face. I mean, in my opinion, I think Galactus could be more powerful than Unicron. Keyword could be more powerful. It would be an all-out war. I mean, they'd also have to face not only Galactus but also the Silver Surfer and Stardust. His two heralds right now. Yes, for those who don't know, Silver Surfer is back with Galactus, but he's more on call. And would Silver Surfer, he'd probably see the good in the Autobots and be like, "Hey, can we not devour this planet?" And Galactus would be like, "No, I'm hungry." Because I think that Galactus could devour this planet because the Autobots have life. They're living beings, so life has energy. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. Your next question is, who'd win the fight between the Tick or Freakazoid? No comment, because they're two pretty awesome characters. It would be really fun to see, though. If you could get rid of one character in any movie, anime, comic, or whatever, who would it be? Well, I got my wish already. That already happened. The Sentry's gone, and I've wanted the Sentry gone, and I hope he stays gone. That's a big freaking screw you to the Sentry. That's right, I've already got my wish. Sentry's gone. But thank you for the questions, Wolfman Thomas, and we're going to wrap this up with more questions from X-Geigen X69. Why do you like Hal Jordan overall? That's his first question he had. I like Hal Jordan because he's a normal guy with a power ring. He has weaknesses. He's not invulnerable. He's not, super cunning. He's just a regular Joe, who was given a ring. And I feel like I can't wait. And people always compare. Jon Stewart was like the number one. Now I have no problem with Jon Stewart, but Hal Jordan is more like a regular guy. He's a regular Joe, basically. And he got this ring, and he's like an everyman with a power ring. So that's why I think he's pretty cool and pretty relatable. Next question is, why do you like Barry Allen overall? Barry's kind of like the same way. Barry Allen He's also a very human-type character despite the superpowers. Now, I do like Wally West, but I like Barry more because he has, he has all that intelligence to him. He's kind of like a detective with super speed. And, he's, a pretty awesome character all in all. I don't know how to explain it very well, but, those are some of the reasons why I like Barry. Next question is, why do you like Superman, Superman overall? I like Superman because, well, actually, I already did a video on this with why I like Superman, but to answer your question, I think he's very cool. I always thought Superman was very cool. A very, despite being a superhuman character, has a human aspect, and he feels pain. He's not like some, two-dimensional. Superman in no way is a two-dimensional character. Like, I cannot be stopped no matter what, except for kryptonite. No, he has weaknesses. He can be hurt. He can be killed. Now, granted, I don't like what J. Michael Straczynski's going in the Superman books, but I love Superman Earth 1. But, yeah. So yeah, those are just a few reasons. And your last question is, would you like a Superman Avatar crossover? I don't know which Avatar you're referring to. Are you referring to Avatar The Last Airbender or Avatar the James Cameron movie? I think it'd be cool to see both, but I'm actually writing a Superman Avatar Last Airbender crossover right now. I've got first chapter up. I'm writing the second chapter. Yes, I know I've said I keep writing the second chapter, and I feel like totally Mark Millar. So I'm very sorry for those who are still waiting for chapter 2 of the Superman Burning Sun story. I know I'm pulling a total Mark Millar here, so I'm sorry for those who are watching and still waiting for, hey, when's chapter 2 coming up? So, sorry. But thank you for the questions, XGeigen X69, and thank you all for giving out these questions. This was pretty awesome. Very well done Q&A, and see you guys later.